Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm going to be bringing you a fun little challenge vlog, which is going to be a 24-hour timer challenge. So the main premise of this is that I am basically reading for a full 24 hours. So I'm going to be trying to do that over the basis of the next 3 days. And it is Saturday. We have a long weekend this weekend. So it is Saturday and it's already 1 p.m. But the main premise is I set a running timer, and every time I'm reading, I set the timer and keep reading for as much as possible. But then when I'm not reading, I turn off the timer and then do what I need to do. So I've got a stack of books here that I really want to get to and that I haven't been able to read, and because I've been focusing on other vlogs, aka my book battle vlogs, but we have a long weekend and I want to do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting, and just try and get some of these books that I really want to read off my TBR. So I have a big old stack here, which I'm very excited about. So the first one that I'm going to try and get to is Forgiving Darkness by Kat Sirota. I've just been added to Kat Sirota's street team, so I'm very excited and I really want to read this. I wanted to read this before I was added to the street team, hence why I bought it. I bought it at Ages of Pages and I met Kat at Ages of Pages and it was so lovely to meet her, and I'm very excited. So this is about a runaway daughter of the tyrant King Rodan. A powerful 19-year-old witch, Estrid, lives a life of furtive exile. She will do anything to escape the iron-clawed grip of her father and his blood-soaked reign, even if it is her birthright. But Estrid's solitude is fractured during a hunting trip in the dark forest when she stumbles upon a wounded, ethereal being unlike any she's seen before. The Fae is golden-haired, rippling with power and dressed in finery of a wealthy lord. Even weakened and bleeding, he's the most beautiful and deadliest creature she has ever encountered. But Estrid isn't the only one harboring a secret identity. The Fae's arrival could threaten the freedom she's fought so hard and the kingdom she loves. So I'm very excited. This is going to be a duology, and Kat is in the middle of writing book 2, and we're getting prepared to help with the launch of book 2. So I'm very excited about this one. So I'm hoping that I can fly through this one over the course of the readathon. And if you've seen my book battle episode 4, I think, I read book 2 in the King of Sin series by Anna Huang, and I absolutely fell in love with it. King of Pride. I read King of Wrath last year in 2024. I read King of Pride recently, and it got me on my romance kick again, especially Anna Huang romance kick again. So I definitely want to read this one. This one is about Dominique Davenport and his wife Alexandra, and they are kind of having a second chance romance because Alexandra has realized that he isn't really paying attention to her and she feels very unloved within their marriage. So yeah, in his endless quest for more, he drives away the only person who saw him as enough. It isn't until she's gone that he realizes there may be more to life than riches and glory, but by then it may be too late. So then, from her point of view, when it becomes clear that she'll always come second to his work, she finally takes charge of her life and puts herself first, even if it means leaving the only man she's ever loved. But what she didn't count on was his refusal to let her go, or for him to fight for their marriage, no matter what it takes. So I'm very excited to read this. I really loved King of Pride, so I'm very excited to get into this one. Another one that I've been meaning to read for goddamn years, and I've taken it out of the library multiple times, is Banded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling reverse harem, and I'm very excited. This is following our main character Rosalina. Her father turns up missing, so she goes after him, finds herself in an enchanted vale, the land of the Fae. When she locates her father, she discovers that he's been imprisoned, and Rosie has no choice but to make a deal with the 4 Fae princes to take his place. Elizabeth Helen have just been picked up by a new publisher, so they are getting ready to release book 5 and book 6. So I'm very excited to get into this one. I've been meaning to read it for so long. Another one that I think will be a start to this vlog to get me going is Storms of Change by Zoe Jae. So I met Zoe at Ages of Pages, and she gave this to me as a little thank you for making her day, and kind of, it was just so sweet of her. And this is about a non-magical orphan raised by a loving family of witches. She resigned herself to being a spectator in their enchanting world. But on the 7th anniversary of her biological parents' death, everything changes. When unrelenting storms erupt above her head and raw power courses through her veins, Gaia discovers she is more like her adoptive family than she imagined. Racked by grief, uncertainty, and a magic she cannot control, Gaia teeters on the edge of chaos. To find balance, she takes on a role at a school for magical children, hoping that helping them discover their gifts will help her harness her own. But as the storm rages on, Gaia learns that taming the skies is only one part of her battle. The real challenge lies in confronting her past and trusting herself and unlocking the strength to become the woman she was meant to be. A story of self-discovery, resilience, and the extraordinary power in finding calm within the storm. Storms of Change invites you to step into a world where magic and emotions collide. It's very short and 46 pages, so I think it'll be a great little start to this readathon. Another one that I've been meaning to read for years, and you've seen this on my TBR for goddamn months. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I don't know what it is about this book, but I keep avoiding it. I think mainly because I loved book 1 so much, and I loved Nox and Naomi, that I'm kind of scared going into this one. But yeah, I'm very intrigued, and I want to know what this one is about. So this is book 2 in the Knockmouth series, where we're following Nate, who is Nox's brother, and he's the sheriff in town, and he kind of falls in love with Alina, the bad girl. So yeah, I'm excited, and hopefully I'll finally get to this one. And then the last one that I'm very lucky to have received is an ARC copy of The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. A wonderful friend of mine gifted this to me for my birthday as a little surprise, and I loved it so much, so I'm very excited. This is already released now, so you can get it now, but I just watched Tori Between the Pages 24-hour reading vlog where she read this, and it just made me want to pick it up and do a 24-hour readathon. So yeah, I'm gonna get some reading done. I actually have no idea what this is about because there is no synopsis. Oh, here it is. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur. And lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom in Troun's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them, for the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. Sounds amazing. Another one that I'm hoping to get to is book 3 in the Pacific Passions series. It is Protecting the Princess. I'm reading book 3 because it has a missing character that the author really wants to talk about on my podcast in the next weekend, so I need to read that. Thankfully it is only they're standalone, so I don't need to read book 1 and book 2 first. So yes, I am now going to stop talking because this clip is very long. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to see what I pick up next, but wish me luck. Because I don't know how we're going to do this, but we shall see. I'm also going to the movies tonight to watch Lilo and Stitch, the live action, and I'm very freaking excited. So we have a busy weekend ahead of us, full of reading, fingers crossed. So I'm going to go. I'm going to start reading, and I will talk to you very soon. Hello, here with a quick update. We have 21 hours and 47 minutes left on the timer. So I've gotten quite a bit read, which is exciting. So let's do a quick reading update while I'm here. Because I'm about to, oh, the lighting. Oh, terrible. Because I'm about to go shower and so I can wash my hair and stuff and have it dry before we go to the movies. But I read Storms of Change by Zoe Jae, and I really like this. This is a cute short story where we're following a main character who has finally come to terms with that she is part of this new family because her family has passed away 7 years ago, and because she has accepted that she's part of this family, her magic has come through and she doesn't know how to deal with it because she's 20 years old. She didn't grow up with magic. She doesn't know how to manage it, so she ends up going to work at this magical school that also helps her learn her abilities, and we just watch her as she's going through learning how to have magic and also be a teacher and kind of forming relationships with the students. And it's really cute, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it is such a perfect little short story that definitely got me into the reading mood starting this thing. So as I mentioned at the end of the last clip, I was going to be reading book 3 in the Pacific Passions, and this is called Protecting the Princess. And in this one we're following our main character, Oleana, and she is a princess, and she has had so much so it's only this story, but I'm about halfway through. So in this one we're following Oleana, and she has been put, so much pressure has been put on her by being the princess, and because she is a Pacific Islander, there is a lot of tradition and religion involved. So she is a woman in this community, so she has to have a bodyguard that's with her constantly. She has to be very prim and proper, and she just hasn't experienced life as she wants. So while her family is distracted at a family reunion, she decides that she's going to run away. She runs away to London, and she then comes across Theo, and the thing is, Theo has been hired to protect her and keep her safe and kind of report back to the family about what she's doing. But they are slowly starting to fall in love, and I just got to the first spicy scene, and it is really great. Theo is definitely a messy character. He has a lot of PTSD from the things from childhood trauma, and then also being in the army. So we're seeing him kind of have his PTSD, have his nightmares and his flashbacks, and it's been really interesting watching him sort of also deal with taking care of Anna because it's his job, but then also slowly falling in love with her and being very scared to tell her, and not knowing how to deal with this scenario because he never expected this. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving Courtney Clark Michael's writing, and I'm so happy that I picked up this bundle because I'm very excited to actually read book 1 and book 2 in this series and then continue reading more from Courtney Clark Michaels, because this is amazing. And this means that I'm so excited to be having a discussion with Courtney Clark Michaels on my podcast. I'll link all of the information about my podcast down below. We are called the Broke Book Girls podcast, and I am hosting it with one of my friends, Brie, and it's just a fun time. So we're going to be interviewing Courtney Clark Michaels next week, and we're going to be talking about her messy characters, including Theo from Protecting the Princess. So I'm very excited, and I cannot wait to continue reading this. So I've only got 100 pages left of this one, so we are flying. We've got quite a bit read already, and I'm very happy. We've almost got one full book read, got a short story read, then I'm going to go to the movies, and we shall see how much I get read for the rest of the evening. But we are making progress, which is very exciting. So I'm gonna shower, wash my hair because it's hair washing day, and I will come back with an update probably when I've finished Protecting the Princess.
or repaired. Talk to Steve Holford, your local jewellery.
Hello, good morning. We have a lot to talk about. We went and saw the Stitch movie last night and it was amazing. I had the best time. It's been so long since I've seen Lilo and Stitch, but it's one of my favourite Disney movies or Pixar movies. So I'm very happy that I went and saw the live action last night. It was so good. They did change the storyline a little bit with some of the characters missing out of there, but it was still a really great time. So when we got back, I read Pacific Passions, book 3, Protecting the Princess, and I really enjoyed this. Theo is definitely a very messy character. He has a lot of PTSD from the trauma growing up with an addict of a mother, and then also being in the military, so he has seen a lot of bad things. So he definitely has a lot of PTSD. He struggles with nightmares. And then we also have Oleana, or Anna, and she has always had this struggle of putting so much pressure being put on her because of their culture within the Pacific Islands. The women are kind of there to make men's lives easier. So from a very young age, she was getting up to cook breakfast for everyone, and she would only be allowed to eat when everyone else is eating and things like that. So she decides that she's running away and she's going to create experiences for herself. And we watch them as and she arrives in London, and Theo is then contacted to try and find her because he is great in the tech space. He has a security business and he gets hired to kind of keep her safe and kind of keep tabs on her. And then we watch them fall in love, and it's just so beautiful. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of messy relationships in here, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to go back and read book 1 and book 2 at some point, because I definitely want to see more of Oleana's family and the other 2 relationships that we get a hint at in book 3. So I'm very excited for that one. So then once I finished that, I picked up Forgiving Darkness by Kat Sirota, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I am currently 72 pages in. So in this one, we're following our main character, Estrid, and she has kind of hidden herself away, and we don't know why. She's kind of kept that a secret, and she comes across this man in the forest who is very injured, and he turns out to be a fae, and she kind of helps him come back to health. There is some emotions in there. I think this might be a fated mates sort of scenario, and I'm very intrigued. She's got this dark magic so that she can pull the life out of people and make husks out of them, and same with animals and things like that. And he is more of a light. He's from the summer court in Fae world, so he has light and things like that. So we kind of watch them as 72 pages in, and watching them sort of create a little routine for themselves while Estrid is healing him and making sure that he's okay. And then he has to go on a mission to kind of save his people. And that's where I'm at the moment. I don't know where this story is going, but I'm very intrigued. I'm really liking the writing style, and I'm so stoked with this cover. But yeah, I'm flying through it. I got very tired last night. I went to bed at about 11:30 last night because I was very tired. But hopefully I can get a lot more reading done and finish this one today, because that would be nice. I do have to record a podcast today and do some editing and stuff like that, but hopefully I can get as much reading in as possible, because it's definitely not 9 o'clock in the morning. Sundays are my sleeping day, so yeah. Goodbye. I'll update you when I've got an update. Hello. Happy Monday. I have been a terrible YouTuber, vlogger, whatever you want to call me, and I haven't updated you at all since I was halfway through Forgiving Darkness by Kat Sirota yesterday. So I did finish that yesterday, and then I immediately picked up Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I didn't come and update you guys because I was just a terrible person and I had the cat on me and I didn't want to get up and disturb him. But I have now picked up Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. So this is following Nash. He is the police chief in Knockmat, and he is the brother of Knox, who is the main character in book 1, Things We Never Got Over. And that was one of my favourite books the year that I read it, and when I reread it, it lives in my mind rent free. I absolutely love that book. I love Knox and Naomi and Waylay. And I've been putting this book off for so freaking long, and I don't know why. I was just so scared to move out of Knox and Naomi's story and following someone else, even though I really liked Nash as a character and Lena in book 1. So in this one we're following Nash, and he is still recovering from after being shot in book 1, and kind of his mental health issues and him dealing with it. He feels lost, he feels numb, he's got depression, he's got panic attacks. And then we're following Lena, who is in town for a specific reason that no one really knows about. And we're kind of watching their story as they slowly start to fall in love, because Lena kind of helps Nash feel alive again. And I am almost finished this. As you can see, I am 394 pages in, and I wasn't going to come and update you, and I was just going to give up on this vlog, but my partner decided, like, no, get your ass up and finish this vlog. So I have 5 hours and 23 minutes left on the timer, and I'm definitely going to be finishing this within the next hour or two. So then I'm going to be picking up another book, but I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm loving it's very friends. They start to build a friendship, and Lena is really there for Nash and kind of helps him through a lot. And then certain things come up and they end up hating each other, and they have this sort of hate to lovers dynamic. And where I've just gotten to is when they finally decided that they're going to give this relationship a try, and I'm really, really loving it. With this series, there is an overarching plot with what happens in book 1. We have this big bad guy who is everyone is afraid of and is trying to find, and in this one we're definitely digging more into that storyline on top of the relationship. And I just love this. The family vibes in here is amazing, and I just love seeing the characters from book 1 also in here and them feeling very the same as book 1. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to be finishing it soon. So I'm going to go and I'm going to continue reading, because we have 5 hours left and I'm back to work tomorrow, so I need to get this vlog finished. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna continue reading, and I'll be back with an update once I've finished this and tell you what I'm going to be reading next, because I have no idea what I'm in the mood for after this one. Hello. Let me just clip this on. Let me just grab my laptop. Have 2 hours and 30 minutes left on the timer, and I have just finished Things You Hide from the Light. I don't know why I was avoiding this book for so long. This is so beautiful and I loved it so much. This is going to be a 5-star read for me. I don't know why I avoided this one for so long, but I really, really loved it. I loved how much growth and healing there was in this book. This whole series is just amazing, and the overarching plot is definitely thickened in this one, so I'm very intrigued to see where it goes in book 3, because it kind of resolved itself in this one. So I'm very intrigued to see how book 3 goes, and especially with this epilogue there's a mention of Sloane and Lucian, and these are the two main characters who are based what book 3 is based on. And there's something that was mentioned, and I'm very, very intrigued. So I have a feeling that it's going to be just as action-packed and just as crazy. So I'm very, very excited to get to that one very, very soon. And then I can take this series off my list. But I have to say, this is shaping up to be one of my favorite series of all time. So because I've only got 2 hours and 30 minutes left, all the other books that I have picked out for this vlog are going to take me way too long. So I thought I would try and read something a little bit shorter, and then if I finish this with time to spare, I might just pick up one of the shorter novellas on my Kindle. But I'm going to be picking up Killing Gravity by Courtney Jae. I don't know much about this. This is sci-fi. Samara's 11 can kill you with her mind, but she'll need more than psychic powers to save her in this thrilling sci-fi space adventure. So before Marianne escaped in a bloody coup, Mephisto transformed her into a deadly void witch. The training left her with terrifying capabilities, a fierce sense of independence, a deficit of trust, and an experimental pet named Seven. She spent her life on the run, but the boogeyman from her past are catching up with her. An encounter with the bounty hunter has left her hanging helpless in a dying spaceship, dependent on the mercy of strangers. Penned in on all sides, Mariam chases rumors to find the one who sold her out, to discover the truth and defeat her pursuers. She'll have to stare into the abyss and find the secrets of her past, her future, and her terrifying potential. Sounds interesting. It's short, it's under 200 pages, so hopefully I can get this done within the next 2.5 hours. But first we need to get some of our washing done because we've been avoiding putting our washing away. So we're going to do that now and then get back to reading. And we have finished the 24-hour readathon. So we got a lot read. I finished Killing Gravity with 2 minutes to spare on the timer, so I just let it run out without trying to start anything new because that was just crazy. But let's just do a quick wrap up on everything that I read, and then I can talk about Killing Gravity to finish off this vlog. So the first book that I read was Storms of Change by Zoe Jae. This is a cute little short story following a witch who comes into her magic later in life, and it was fun, it was cute, and it was a great way to start the readathon because it is very, very short. Then I went into Pacific Passions book number 3, which is Protecting the Princess by Courtney Clark Michaels. This is in preparation for a podcast that I'm going to be doing with the author in next weekend. So I had to read book number 3, and we're following Theo as he is put in charge of protecting the princess who has run away from the Pacific Islands to try and get away, but she doesn't know that he's charged to protect her, and following their love story. I really, really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4-star read from me, and I'm very excited to continue with this omnibus. I'm reading book 1 and book 2. They are standalone, so you don't need to read everything in order. Then I picked up Forgiving Darkness, Binary Souls book 1 by Sirota, and this is a 4-star read for me. I really, really enjoyed it. This is very dark fantasy romance. I really loved it. I did find that the romance was a little bit too quick for its development, but I would happily read book 2, and I'm very, very excited for book 2. I really enjoyed it. It is very dark, very gruesome. There is a lot of trigger warnings in here, so do beware going in. The atmosphere was great, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was very dark and gritty, and I'm very excited to continue with this series. And yeah, I'm very happy that I also have a signed edition from the author. Then I finally picked up Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This is book 2 in the Not Mad series. I've already talked a lot about this. I really, really loved it. It's a 5-star read for me. I had the best time, and I'm sad and mad at myself for not reading this sooner because it's been on my TBR for a long, long time. And finishing off, we have Killing Gravity by Zoe Jae White. I didn't really enjoy this. This is a very quick read. I find that because it was so short and it is sort of a novella style story, that we didn't just get into the meat and bones of the world building or character development, which I found to hinder my enjoyment of the story. This is very fast paced and very action packed, but I did find that not being able to dig deeper into the world building, kind of understand what was happening, I did find it to be a little bit lackluster there, but it was a fun time, and I think I might continue with the series at some point if this books come up in my library or on Libby or something like that. It's not something that I'll go out of my way to buy. It also kind of gave me a long way to a small angry planet vibes with the fan family vibes, and this person kind of coming into this already established family and kind of becoming part of it. So that was fine. So yeah, that's me finishing off this 24-hour readathon. It was really nice to finally start getting my reading mojo back, because May was a bit of a rougher month with my reading because I was very distracted trying to deal with a lot of personal issues with the friendships and stuff. So I was on my phone a lot more and I didn't get as much reading in, but I'm very happy to say that I read 5 books, and some of these books I probably wouldn't have read for a long time, so very happy with that. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below if you've ever taken part in a 24-hour reading challenge, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye!